Hello, this is James Hodges, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to change a tire on a vehicle. Did you know the top 60% of Americans don't know how to change a tire? Well, after this tutorial you're going to be in the top 40%. I'm going to show you the tools needed to change a tire, the step-by-step process, and some tips and tricks to hopefully make it easier for you. Here are some tools to change a tire. I have a 2x4, or you can use a wheel chock to block the wheel so it doesn't roll back. I have a jack here with a crank to jack it up. And then I have a socket. Mine's 15mm, that's for your lug nuts. And it's 1/2 inch to fit my 1/2 inch strong arm. Usually everything you need to change a tire is in your trunk. You have to lift the carpet up. And then you see my wheel. Usually there is a donut, but I have a full wheel. Here's the jack, and here's to take the nuts off the tire. First you're going to want to chock the wheel. So we're going to take the 2x4. We're changing the front right tire today, so we're going to chock the back right. Make sure it's in tight so the car doesn't roll back. Next we're going to take our socket and put it on the strong arm, and then we're going to start loosening the nuts off. After you have all the nuts loosened off the tire, you're going to want to take your jack, slide it under here. There should be a little lip underneath your rocker panel, and you want the groove in the jack to sit underneath it. And then you stick this in the hole and start turning clockwise to jack the car up off the ground. Once you jack the car up and see a little space underneath the tire, then you're good to take off the rest of the nuts. You want to make sure when using a hydraulic jack that it's not going to fall down on you. And a little tip on remembering which way to turn the nuts and stuff. It's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. You turn it to the left or counterclockwise, it loosens it. Turn it to the right, you tighten. Once you get all the nuts off, keep them in a pile. Make sure you're not going to lose them. And then you have to take your tire off. If it's stuck, then you can turn backwards and take the back of your heel and kick the bottom of the tire until it falls off. Now that your tire's off, you're going to want to get a replacement tire to put back on. In my case, I'm just going to use the one I took off because there's nothing wrong with it. So usually there's going to be some spikes sticking out, but mine just have holes. And you lift the tire up and place one of the holes over the spike and then put the nut on. Once you get one of the nuts on, you can screw the rest of them in. Make sure they're finger tight. Next we're going to lower the jack down because we have all the nuts tightened. And then when the tire touches the ground, we'll tighten them up more. When you tighten the nuts up, you want to make sure that you don't step on the bar, because you can break the nut off, or you can over tighten it and strip the screw so it won't work at all. And you want to make sure that you tighten them in a star formation. So if I tighten this one, then I'm going to want to tighten this one, and then up here, down here, and over here, and back to this one until they're all tight. Make sure when you're done changing the tire, you collect up all your tools and the chalk from the back wheel, put them in the back of your trunk. When you get home, you can clean them off with a dry rag, and that prevents them from dirt and rust. Hopefully my tutorial was helpful on how to change a tire. Make sure you loosen the nuts off before you jack the car up. Tighten them in star formation. Now that you know how to change a tire, you won't be stuck on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck.